Well, I started therapy. I'm really proud of myself. I hired a therapist and I do a WebEx meeting every Friday. And so I've had two sessions so far. And I lost my mom back in February. And so I've been dealing with more anxiety and just not really depression, but I can just tell that I'm just a little bit more anxious and stressed than normal, probably due to my lifestyle. But that's what I'm finding out more as I talk to my therapist. But it's great. It's been a really good for me. What about you?
That's really good, by the way. I mean, I'm very proud
Yeah.
of you for doing that.
Thank you.
It's something that is, for some reason, hard to do, to pick up the phone or,
Yeah.
make that email connection or whatever. It's hard for some reason. We can schedule those dental cleanings and the
Yeah.
OBGYN and everything else, but for some reason, the thing that literally can set our lives back in order and
Yeah.
help us just clear our minds, like, for some reason that's so difficult for us. So I'm very proud of you. That's
Well,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, it's been very good.
You're inspiring me. I need to do that too, because it's just, things are hard right now.
Yeah.
Things are difficult. It's not an easy time. Everything seems to change from day to day.
Yeah.
We are just, it's just kind of a stressful situation and in the world.
Oh
So
yeah. I feel like
yeah,
everybody's going through something and it just feels good to just talk and just when
yeah,
you say things out loud, like when I'll say things out loud, I'm like, wow, I really am doing a lot. Like when I'm telling another individual that's not in this industry everything that I'm doing and that I'm driving back and forth and that I'm raising kids and that I'm doing all these things and she's like, what are you doing to relax? And I'm like, and I couldn't even tell her. I was like, yeah, well, that sounds nice. I really can't remember the last time I did relax.
yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of, when you put it out there and you start talking to somebody about your life and about what's going on in it and the things that you're facing and some of the things, that I'll tell her about that I feel like are so silly. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And she's like, Brandy, that's really common. Like it's really not that big of a deal. A lot of people struggle with that same issue. And then you kind of feel validated, I guess is the word, and it's easier to just move on with your life because you're like, "Oh yeah, I mean, somebody else is going through that too." You don't really feel so alone, I guess.
And you can't always, even though we have good friends that we can lean on and talk to about things, just have that professional opinion too, somebody that can say, well, maybe it's because you're grieving, and the
Yeah,
things that help you through. So that's so good.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So, well, yeah. So, we, Max, we're like halfway empty nesters. Max got an apartment,
That's so
and
exciting
I know
and
it's so exciting.
frightening and everything
Yes.
at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super proud of him. It's like happy, sad. Like, at first, it kind of made me feel mad, uh,
Yeah.
even though we've been talking about it for like a year, that he's going to get an apartment when he
Yeah.
starts back to school in September. And it's like September's next month. And it just hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
he's not going far. But he will be much closer to his school. With traffic here, it's important, to get
Yeah.
closer. And he'll be rooming with a roommate that he knows from high school, that they were in a band together. And he's the bass player and the Max's guitar player. So they'll have a good time. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be party central. I hate to tell you, but it's gonna be fun. And Max is such a good kid. It'll be totally fine because he is such a good kid.
And well, it's funny because that's what I told him. I was like, all right, you're going to have to because he's actually moving like to the Hollywood area of Los
Yeah.
Angeles. And that's where all the music venues that we love to go to and the restaurants. I'm like, okay, Max, you might have mom coming in, and,
Yeah.
mom's friends coming to crash at your pad. So,
Heck
so
yeah.
Welcome to Pretty Smart 2, where Laura and Brandy, two bestie esties, spill all the tea. This episode, we're talking zero to hero, baby. How to build your clientele and fill those books like a boss. Let's get into it.
So I don't know about you, Laura, but my calendar is not looking like I want it to for the month of August or September. So today let's get together and put our heads together and figure out what we need to do to get these calendars booked.
I'm hearing it from around. Uh, Lots of estheticians are having similar issues getting their calendars booked up, and a lot of it has to do with travel. There's not as many people traveling this summer to destinations, so some of those places aren't as busy as they normally are. But then people are also holding on to their money a little bit, so we have to get creative. This is the time to get creative and let those creative juices flow. And we're going to dig right into it and help each other out. Let's get going. Thank you so much for listening to Pretty Smart 2 or watching. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button right below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we are so grateful to have you. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to our email list at prettysmart2.com. And thank you so much for listening to us. I'm Laura Barrow. I'm a licensed esthetician based out of Pasadena, California. I work at Elite Beauty Bar and Aesthetics. I have a treatment room in that particular salon that's called Laura's, and I would love to see you. There's also a link to my booking site.
And I'm Brandy Kyle, and I'm the owner of Kyle and Company, and I am located in El Dorado, Arkansas, and also have a second location in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'm a licensed cosmetologist. My spots are day spas, and we do aesthetics and cosmetology as well.
So we have lots of different options for us as estheticians to grow our clientele, and sometimes you do have to get a little creative, especially when it's a little slower than what you're used to, or for some reason things have just changed up a bit. One thing that I found very helpful and learned from a class that I took in Las Vegas was to always start with a plan. So at the beginning of the year, every year, I would always sit down and create my marketing plan. So that way I wouldn't forget about all the different holidays that happen throughout the year, about all the different school starting back, all of those sorts of things. So it makes your planning a little bit easier. Another thing that I always found very helpful was when I went into to planning those things out was to just really be consistent. So if you have your consistency with you want to schedule everything. So if you know that there's going to be a newspaper ad that you need to purchase, or a magazine ad that you need to purchase, you have to do that in advance. So you want to go ahead and get those on your calendar, know what you're going to be doing, get your graphic designer or create your own art, however you do that. And then also even going so far as creating those Facebook posts, or at least having an idea. This time I need to be advertising, blah, 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 and go from there. So is that sort of what you do too, Brandy?
I wish I could say I was that organized. I'm really not. I'm very honest. I wish that I did it on a yearly basis. Really, I get really creative at the beginning of every month. And so I'll kind of, I'll take a Sunday and like just look at the calendar and look at what's coming up. What is our town? We're very involved in our Main Street program, our Downtown Business Association, and the Chamber of Commerce. And so, and that's all in El Dorado. So I've been very fortunate that all of those are very active in El Dorado. And I can go easily. They make it so easy. There's a community calendar that I can go to and look and see kind of what's coming up for the month. And I kind of base it off of that, as well as, so like if we're having even Murphy Arts District is great as well. They're always having concerts. It's a large amphitheater. It's $100 million project that we have in our town in El Dorado. And they're always having concerts and that sort of thing. So I'll look and see what's coming up for that. And so we may partner with them and give away some tickets, and then we'll, do the person's hair and makeup for the concert if they win the tickets. That's been really helpful in the past. And then like, I'll just look at, if it's Christmas, obviously we'll have Christmas specials. Right now we've got back to school specials. So yeah, I'm realizing though from being so involved in El Dorado, and such a support network here that in Little Rock, it's a little bit different. It's huge. I tried to get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, and I called and tried to figure it out. And they're like, yes, we would love for you to be a part of it. It will only cost you this amount of money, and it's a lot of money. But I'm like, oh, so I feel your pain for those of you that are just starting out and you're like, I can't really go. And I mean, I come from a Chamber of Commerce background. That's what I did, So I was a chamber president. And so I know the importance of it. But now I'm seeing like not everybody has, $400 just to throw at a Chamber of Commerce just so that you can be involved in another event, and it feels overwhelming. And
Yeah.
so, but like I said, those things are very important, especially if you're in a small community. It won't be those huge amounts of money. And more than likely, you can just get involved volunteering with any of those organizations. So I would definitely start with your Chamber of Commerce in whatever city you're in.
Yeah, that is a really good tip. When we were down in Laguna Beach, I was able to do, it's a very small community also. It's the size of El Dorado, actually. And the same, I went to the chamber right away from the experience in El Dorado with their chamber, and, went ahead and just offered up, I have
Yeah.
hydrofacial gift certificates. Let me know what you need. And they did. They would,
Yeah.
give me a call and say, would you like to donate? We're doing, and I would always ask for silent auctions, because you have someone that is bidding on your item that wants it, not a raffle.
Yeah.
So I would say,
Yeah.
let me know about this side when you have silent auctions. Usually it's a nonprofit, so it's a very good cause. You have people that are seeing your business and your menu, your service menu, that they're bidding on, and they would always give me the names of the people who were interested in the item, so then I could reach out to them and then at least offer them a discount on the item. So that's a way to build up some clientele, and I will be trying that here for sure in Pasadena. But I bet Pasadena's big. It's as big as Little Rock, maybe even a little bit bigger. It We'll see. I don't know. I haven't gone there yet. So, but that is a huge, that is wonderful. And I will say, I wasn't always good at planning out my year. That's something that I learned from a workshop that I went to. And it took a lot of stress off of me sitting down and planning it out. And it would pop up on my phone and pop up on our
it's
calendar.
perfect.
And it was a big help. So that might be something to utilize. There's a lot of
Definitely. I will
things
do better.
there's a lot of things in here that I was like, oh, hey, I haven't done that. I need to do this for myself.
Yeah.
And I wrote this, but I also, doing reading and research and just trying to remember what all is great. Just so many reminders. I could definitely be busier if I would follow my own advice, and do some of the things.
And it's like you can, and everybody that's listening, I'm sure feels the same way. I mean, like my day to day, I had it all planned out. Like I was going to do this, this, and this, and this. And then one little call from the bank or one little call from somebody, derails everything. And you're like, oh, well, that's important too. So now I've got to make time for that. Well, now I've got to do that too. And so it is so easy to just get derailed. Your days can just, so you just really, I love that you said like set the calendar reminders. I'm terrible about that. I'm terrible about setting any kind of reminder or anything during the day on my phone, and I need to be better. So yeah, I think those are all really good things.
Yeah, for sure. That's now moving on. We're getting into our service menu and our pricing and that sort of thing. So a lot of times estheticians, and they say this is a mistake, will say, okay, now's the time to discount because I'm not very busy. I want to fill my book, so I'm going to do these discounts. And they'll spend money on a graphic designer or their time getting on Canva and creating all these ads for 10% off, 15% off, whatever it is. And people just really don't pay attention to those small ads. So if you do feel like, okay, this is the time that I need to be offering a really amazing deal, or this is, I need to be building up my books, go ahead and just bam them with a good discount. They say this is when you can really, do like a, 50% off type of thing. Not that you want to go that
Yeah.
far, but do something
Yeah.
big, or even better yet, because you don't want to necessarily be somebody that discounts yourself. Offer some
Mm-hmm.
type of service that has a huge value, but it doesn't cost you a
Yeah.
lot. So,
Yeah.
offer complimentary eyebrow wax with their
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
facials, or, what, something that
Yeah.
people really see the value in that. And,
Yeah.
things like that really, really are helpful.
Yeah, I like to do that. I like to always have one service at full price. So if you buy this service at this price, then you get this for free. Instead
Yes.
of just saying 50% off of everything, or, whatever. Because yeah, then there's really no value to it. And I don't think that you do see a lot of bookings from that, because it almost comes across as, I don't want to say the word desperate, but you know what I mean? Like it comes across as that there's not as much value in it, and people aren't as excited about it. They almost want to pay more money because they can say, oh yeah, I got this luxurious, hydrofacial, and it cost me this much, and look at my skin, and it looks amazing. And they see the value more in it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's one thing. So right now, just an example, I've been working in the Los Angeles area for over a year now doing facials, but I've moved to
Mm-hmm.
this new area of town, which is pretty far away from where I was. So I'm basically, other than a handful of people, starting from scratch, which is so
Uh-huh.
strange to be starting from scratch again. It's like, when am
Yes.
I ever going to stop
I
doing
know.
this to myself? But here I am, and I'm doing it again, and it's a time that
It's
we're
also
not very
fun.
busy, but it is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm getting back into like that,
Yeah.
good college try or
Yes.
whatever. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. So one thing I did, and I going back to that class I took in Vegas, and tell you those business classes in Vegas are awesome, um, was this. So I've never really group bond. I've never done that, because I've always heard, that's where you find people will come and they will be discounted clients. They'll be the ones that always want that discount. Okay, so something that they said in Vegas was true. However, those also can be the clients that may buy memberships, because they want that good
Yeah.
value. So that's what
Yeah.
you want to do, is you really want to market to people that will buy memberships when you do something like Groupon.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not doing Groupon right now, but what I am doing is Nextdoor, the app Nextdoor. So they will allow
Oh
you
yeah.
to
Yeah. I've heard of
advertise.
that.
Yeah, it's like $5 a day, and I have
Mm-hmm.
a little, picture of myself, professional image of myself in my treatment room, and I'm offering an insane deal of $75 one time only, $75 one time only facial, microdermabrasion facial with me. So it's like half off of what I normally
Yeah, that's
choose. So that
great.
something I would never ever ever do normally,
Yeah.
but I need to get busy, and I need to meet people.
Yeah.
And I will let
Exactly.
you know how it goes, because I went back to my notes from that class and the information that they
Mm-hmm.
gave us. And I'm like, I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to just really give that a shot. So then I'm going to also then offer those people my membership, and offer them my membership. And if they sign up that day, then I'm going to offer them a complimentary microdermabrasion add-on to their membership for that one time the next time they come in. So
Oh yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how that goes. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm offering $100 eyelash extensions in Little Rock only. And I mean, that is like a huge discount. I mean, that's a
yeah.
$75 discount. And so, but I'm the same way. I'm like, you know what? I will meet people. They're going to love them. I know that about
Yes.
myself.
Mhm.
And so they're going to come back for those fills. And, then you've created a lifelong client, hopefully. And it's
Yeah.
worked. I will say that it has worked so far. I think last week I had 4 new sets. So that was, that was good. And $400 is better than $0 and me just sitting,
Yes. Yeah.
and I've learned just from being there that my idle mind is not good for me. It's not. I start thinking up other things I could be doing, and and that is not good for me. If you're like, and most of us in this industry are those type of people. We're those type of thinkers, entrepreneurial spirits, and so yeah, I have yeah. So that's worked really well.
Yeah. And that's, that brings up another good point. The entrepreneurial spirit, it's not for everyone. And so when you do go into a solo aesthetic suite situation, or you're running your own business, you're wearing a totally different hat than you are wearing when you are in your treatment room one-on-one with your client, and your salon owner or spa owner is getting you clients in the door. You really have to have that want. And I will say that that's something that I know you have in you and I have in me. And it's not in everybody, and that's okay if it's not in
No,
you
that's
to
not.
do
And
that.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It, you go to work for people like us if you don't have that
Yes.
in you, and it is hard. It's hard, and it's what I'm finding with my employees even is they're really scared to ask people, and it does take a lot of nerve to you've got to pick up the phone and literally call people and say, hey, I really need to fill my books. I went to school and I'm paying for school now, and I need you to come and get a facial. Would you mind? And really, they don't get it. I mean, it's like people will say yes. People will say yes. Now you'll get some no's, just like we've talked about in the past, but
Yeah.
people will say yes, especially if you pick up the phone and actually call them and ask them personally, or you see them out and say, hey, I really would appreciate it if you would come and get a facial with me. I think I can, and then explain how you're going to help them. I see
Yes.
that, I know that you've struggled with acne for years. You've told me, these are going to be your good friends that you could talk to like that. But yeah, I know that you've struggled, and I know I can help you. We've got this new Zeo product that I think would just change your life. I mean, it would be so good. Why don't you let me practice on you? And then that's also an opportunity with those people to say, practice. And then, let them know that you've got to charge a little bit, but it's good practice for you. You get a client that way.
Yeah. And they make good models.
Mm-hmm.
They make great models. So you're able then
Yes.
to get some photos for your social
Yes.
media.
Mm-hmm.
It's putting in the work. It's just putting in the work. You
Yeah.
have to do that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as a solo esthetician, or as a somebody that works for someone. I mean, you really do. Your
Yeah.
business, the person owning your business will do a lot for you, but you really
Mm-hmm.
have to reach out to people, and it makes the difference. It makes such the difference
It
if you're the
does.
one reaching out. Say someone came in to see you. Like, I was just thinking this today. I have several people that I could reach out to and just give them a phone call and check on them and see how they're doing, and they would
Yeah.
appreciate that because we've developed a
Yeah.
relationship, and that's what we do in our
Exactly.
treatment rooms. It's not a
Yeah.
factory, and
No,
people
no, no.
come to us because we're an expert. We've talked about this before. We're experts. Now, yeah, we
Yeah.
went to beauty school, and people like to make fun of that a little bit, or whatever. Oh well, we know all of these
Yeah.
things about the
We know what we're
skin
talking about. Yeah.
that they don't know. I don't care who you have sitting there in that chair, unless it's another really good esthetician, or it's, maybe a dermatologist. That person probably doesn't know. One of my really good clients is one of the managers here at Cedar Sinai, and she is always so blown away at my knowledge of skin. And she complimented me.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm almost a doctor. She's a nurse practitioner. She's like, I'm almost a doctor. It's like, I manage one of the biggest emergency rooms in the world. She's like, you know more about skin than I do. And I thought, that's such a huge compliment. It just made me feel so good. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I did, and
It
I still
does.
doubt myself. I still
Yeah.
doubt
I,
myself. It's,
we all do it.
yeah. One of the things that that I've heard over and over again is, one way to build your clientele is to sell them skincare. So people will come to you and they may want to relax. Okay. And they never talk, and you never talk. And then they leave, and they don't know that you knew how to fix their melasma. They have melasma, they have rosacea, they have whatever it is they have going on, and you can see
Yeah.
it. and you don't say to them, are you on retinols? Do you use antioxidants? If you don't say that to them, you have done a disservice to that patient. They could have gone
Yeah.
to someone who would have
Yeah.
totally corrected their skin.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
one little trick over the years, and it's taken me a lot of, it's taken me a lot. I finally, I guess, probably around 35, 37, I don't know. So, at some point in El Dorado, I went, I don't care. If they think that I'm just trying to sell them something and I'm just trying to make money, then just let them think that, because I can't
Mm-hmm.
help that, So I would
Yeah.
just take the products off the shelf, put them down in front of them, and say, this is what I recommend. And when
Mm-hmm.
would you like to schedule again? And if they say, well, I can only afford one, you just let them know, well, it is important. You need these certain ingredients in your skincare. If you already have those somewhere else, like, where are you missing? Are you missing a sunscreen? Are you missing an antioxidant? Whatever. And help them out then. But don't just say, oh, well, just use this cleanser. You'll just like the way it feels. It's good.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
you've totally
No.
made yourself
Don't
look
ever
like,
say that.
yeah, we've made ourselves look like we don't know anything. So if we at
Yeah.
least let them know that we know, let them know that we're trying to help them, they can make the decision if, well, I
Mm-hmm.
can't really afford it, but maybe next month, whatever. So, that they
Yeah.
say that uh, I think it's 2 or 3 products. I think it's 2. If you get someone to purchase, or if someone purchases at least 2 products from you, that means that they trust you enough that they will be back. And they say it's like an 80% retention rate with people that purchase products. They come back 80% of the time. They'll pre-book. And then
Yeah.
also remembering to rebook people, and then also remembering those people to
Yes.
call
That
and
is
check
so
on.
important.
Yeah, that right there.
Yes, definitely. All those things are so important.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, and I was at a training this morning. We use Zeo skincare here, and so I was at a training this morning, and they were talking about that. I mean, you're just totally doing a disservice. And I think the number, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 80% of return if you sell them something. Yeah. And they were saying that one of the number one sellers of Zeo has created a program to where he just includes a kit, a Zeo kit, with every package that they put together. You get a free Zeo kit. So they've just marked up the price of the package to allow that. And I thought that was a really good idea. And they said that they've been like number one in Zeo sales in the country. And so I was like, yeah, that's pretty smart to do that. But yeah, if
Yeah.
you've got people that are actually using the at-home products and then they're coming for their regular facials, they're gonna see results. And
Mhm.
that's why they're there. They're not there to, like we've talked about this before. Yes, it's a place to come and relax and all of that, but they want results. And another thing, while I'm on my soapbox about that, they are also not coming to gossip. And
Mhm.
that's one thing that has kind of been a misconception in our industry as well. Beauty shops I can see all day long, and unfortunately they get that bad rap. Hopefully, they're not all that way, but a lot of them are. And so you go in there and you're talking to your person. But a lot of times when these people come in, they just really want to hear about what is going to help their skin. How can they improve their skin? They're really not here looking to talk about Susie and what she's doing with her husband or so
Yeah.
just keep that in mind too, to new estheticians. I think sometimes, and I've been guilty of it, I'll say that on everything. I've been guilty of it. And when I first got started, I would get nervous, and so when they came in, still didn't really know what I was doing, and so I was a little bit nervous. And so I might know one thing about that person, and it might be that I knew their brother, and so you would want to make that statement appointment when they first came in. Well, how is Brandon doing? Or, how is, and then just so that they know that some of their family. But sometimes that's a bad idea because it can lead into this gossip. You don't know what their relationship is with their brother, and they go into this whole spiel, and then you're 40 minutes into it, and all y'all done the whole time is talk about all their family problems. So just try to keep that in mind, and I try to do a better job of that now. I really don't even talk. It's always like my husband has this saying, and it's so good because it does make sense. Read the room. Just read the room.
Yeah.
From the time they walk in through the door, if they're just like, I'm so ready to relax, I'm so happy to see you because I know that I'm going to get to come in here and just relax and turn everything off. Especially if they say that, don't take them in the room and just don't even ask anything. Ask if they're comfortable after you get everything situated on the table. And is the room temperature okay? Is the heating pad okay? Those sort of things. But don't ask anything personal. Goes along with what we're saying. I think they won't be as likely to come back. I think they're going to feel like when they leave here, like, whew, that was a lot. I really didn't want to trauma dump today. And I don't know that I'm going to go back to her.
I've gone to some massage therapists actually that out here that have kind of pried a little bit and wanted me to talk. And I don't know if it's because they're bored or if it's because they think that I want to talk. And to the point of they ask me questions. It's like, don't ask them. If they want to talk and they're just talking sometimes people do, they just want to release what they have to say. That's fine, But yeah, definitely. I try not to put my opinions in. I'm like, what do you think? Should I divorce? I'm like,
yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, so
no,
you try
don't.
yeah, you try to be helpful and kind, but you don't want to add to it. And yeah, the massage therapists that have like, I don't want to go back to them. Like, I don't care how great their massage is. If I had to talk
That's
the
the
whole time,
worst.
but at the end, you still want to, and Zio is so great with the prescription cards. Have you write out the prescription card and you put it down on the counter, or you go and gather those items, and then you ask them, when would you like to rebook? And this is what I recommend for you today. If you have any questions, let me know. And then let them ask the questions. Don't say,
yes,
and you really need this and you really need that. But if you don't need this that much, that's okay. Like, let them decide what they need and what they don't need and what, if they have questions. So, I think that's one thing we just kind of, we in the treatment room. So we start over talking about personal stuff, like you're saying. And then when we go to sell them the products, it was like, just let them make their own decision with their clear mind after their facial,
yes. Have good people at your front desk. We have amazing people here. We have Sarah and Raylyn, and they take care of our front desk, and they know they're so knowledgeable. They do all of the same training that we do for Zio, and they use the products, and that is so important. Like, you need people selling your products that are using them and are very knowledgeable about them, so that you can walk off. Really, you don't want to be the pushy salesperson. You want them to still trust you, that you know what you're doing in the treatment room, and you've given them that list, and you can, kind of go over it a little bit, but give that to your front desk people that are really knowledgeable. And then it doesn't seem that you're trying to sell them something. They can still have that trust with you in the treatment room, but then they talk to them, and they feel like the front desk person doesn't have this vested interest. They're not the owner of the place. They're not, they're not going to tell you something that isn't true. They're going to say, yes, I use this growth factor serum and it has changed my life. It has changed my skin for these reasons. This has helped my melasma. This has been so helpful with my acne, or this has helped my son, or all of those things. Those are really, really important. It's important to have those trustworthy people at your front desk.
Then they have someone else that they can believe in and trust in and call if there's a question, and you aren't being pulled away from other. Now, me being solo, I am the one that, but then I just schedule extra time so I don't get rushed.
You
I have 30
schedule,
minutes.
yeah.
after every appointment.
So you
If
are
they
the
have
front desk
questions.
person, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, either
Yeah.
schedule a time like you have,
Mm-hmm.
or rely on your front desk. But don't spend,
Yes.
and because some people they have lots of questions and lots of, and you can get sucked in, and then they leave and don't buy anything. And so then you're like, okay,
That happens too, but that's
sorry, not
okay.
get on my
That happens too,
tyrants.
That's so now we're getting into social media content that works.
Yeah.
So, did I ever want to do all of the social media? Not really, but I am enjoying it. I never thought that
It's
I
been,
would.
I never thought, never dreamed
Yeah,
in a million years you could get me on camera.
I,
Now
I
it's a
feel
necessity. I mean, they really should go ahead and teach it in cosmetology school and esthetician school. I mean, really, because you
I
can't
agree.
just be an esthetician anymore. You can't.
Yeah,
Everything you do has to be, you have to have your face out there, and you have to be doing videos. It can't even just be your picture anymore. I mean, and this is just in the 3 years that I've been open. When I first, started in December of 2022, I thought, oh, I can just make a post and put my picture on there. It'll be fine. They'll know who I am and they'll come. No, here we are podcasting away, still trying to make it,
isn't that
but
funny?
it's true. You have to. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I first started in the industry, so about 22 years ago, I was working at a Burke Williams, which if you're ever in California, go to a Burke Williams. They're fabulous. They're still fabulous. But I was
Fabulous.
working there, and their big marketing was no marketing. They did not market. They were 100% word of mouth. That's all they were. They did not pay ever for
Wow.
one stitch of marketing. And it was funny, but that year that I
Oh,
worked
wow.
there, they ended up being on the movie Elf. Will Ferrell mentions, all I want for
Oh,
Christmas is a Burke Williams gift certificate. And they said, we didn't pay for that. Like that was just that
yeah.
people just put that in the movie. So, oh yeah, it's totally changed. I'm sure now they have a great Facebook.
Yeah.
I look at their social media. They have, Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and
Yeah.
all the things now. So it's definitely changed. And we have to adapt. You either adapt
Yeah.
or you end
You
up,
have to.
yeah, you end up. So I
Closing.
definitely think, yeah, they should definitely teach how to run a social media campaign and how to run the back end and all of that in
Mhm.
esthetician school now. So
Yes.
I've enjoyed it though. I will say it kind of is like one, it's helped me with starting this new place that I'm starting.
Yeah.
It's helped me.
Hmm.
It's almost like therapy. It's like, I feel like I'm getting to talk
Yeah.
through some things. And then you're my best
Yeah.
friend. So it's like I get to talk to you. So it's like,
I
yay, I
know.
get to.
It's a
Mhm.
win-win. I mean, really, yeah. Everybody keeps asking. They're like, "When do you find time for that?" I'm like, really? It's just like a catch up. I look forward to it. It's like now it's just once a week. I get to catch up with my best friend, and I get to help
Yeah.
others. And so I really don't. It really doesn't feel like anything. Now, when we started talking about it, versus actually doing it, is a little bit different. Like I've said before, I really didn't know that we were going to be having our videos out there. I thought it would just be my voice, and we could probably edit that and make me sound really sophisticated and all of that. But here we are. So but no, just get over it. Like just get over
Yeah.
yourself is like the best thing that I can say about it. Is just know your quirks, know your good side and your bad side if you have one. I mean, I have a crooked tooth, so I always try to make that, less prominent, get on the right side. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're looking for the message more than they're zooming in on, your teeth or your haircut or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And people are always, always, always going to find something. They're going to find
Yeah.
something about you. And that just means you're doing
Hmm.
something right, is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
why are they taking the time to worry about me? I'm doing something
Yeah.
right, or you wouldn't be taking the time to worry about
Yeah.
it. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you just have
You
to get
got.
over yourself and find somebody fun. You got to find somebody fun to get you started. somebody that doesn't care about all that and can show you. I was so blessed to find Raven and Raylyn. Honestly, Raylyn was before Raven. I mean, she doesn't really love to do all the social media stuff. She's gotten a lot better at it as well. Both have taught me a lot, and I feel like I can get through it now.
Yeah, that's, just get uncomfortable and just get out there and make these videos. I've been having a lot of fun making TikToks too lately, so that's been kind of fun. Olivia and I started some TikToks, and I'm going to get in with that and there's also then extra income streams. So then you can link, to affiliates, and you can link to Amazon Shop, and you can all these things that it's like the world is your oyster, and we should be doing these things. Talk about, if we're not busy, be grateful for these slow times, because that's when we can do this type of thing.
You have time for all this other. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I had no idea.
And then schedule it. So it's the same. Schedule we have our set schedule. We usually meet on Sundays. Today's not Sunday, but that's okay. We ended up doing extra last Sunday. So
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But if things sometimes
nobody knows.
But you set it on your schedule, set your when you're going to do your TikToks, actually have a model coming in on Friday. I'm going to do a model facial, and we're going to video that and use it, and then create multiple forms of content with your content. That's something that I've learned from Austin, and all of his research. So he takes our content that we're making now with our podcast, he turns that into almost like a blog type post that he emails out to our email list. Then you take like your TikTok, and you make a Facebook post with it, and you do like an Instagram reel. I mean, like, you do all these things, so it's not like you're having to build.
It's awesome. I'm like, I'm blown away by all of it. I'm like, I would never know how to do all of that stuff.
Yeah. So find people that do if you don't know how.
I'm glad that he does.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I got really lucky. My husband knows how to do all this. So we've gotten really blessed with that. But if you don't have somebody that knows how to do all those things, there's just go online, go to YouTube, look for people that can help you create your content. So, because they're out there, and they will help you, and they're amazing. They'll, just look for good reviews from estheticians, and they'll help you with it. So, so that's doing a little social media. And then, of course, email. That's huge, huge, huge. Oh my gosh, build up that email list. Don't ever not get somebody's email. If you can. Occasionally people say, I don't want to give you my email. Maybe offer them something. If you give me your email, I promise you I'm not going to over email you. If you give me your email address, we'll take $20 off your next treatment, or we'll give you a complimentary eyebrow wax. And maybe that. Most people.
And text campaigns.
Yes.
Yeah. Text campaigns are great because everybody's got their phone. I mean, they're going to get the text. Mm-hmm. The email, they might be like me and have like 9,000 that are unread. So, I know. But I'm going to read a text. I get texts all the time. And I use Gloss Genius. We haven't talked about booking systems, I don't think. But I use Gloss Genius, and they are fantastic. And they have text campaigns, and they make it so easy. I can just type in something in there, and I can even break it down. You can filter it out. If you want to like only reach people that haven't been here in 6 months, you can do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to reach people that have been here in 6 months, if you only want to reach people that have spent $1,000 or more with you, whatever it is, you can filter that out, and then you can send that out, and it's great. I mean, every time we send out a text campaign, we get at least 2 appointments. Every time. We've always.
I like it when you guys get.
That's another good way, and it's free.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Gloss Genius I've really enjoyed playing around with it. I haven't, gotten super into it just yet, but it's new to me. But really have enjoyed that. Booker is another software system that does have, you do actually, or you did, I don't want to say that you still do, but you used to have to pay a little extra, or quite a bit extra, but man, does that make the biggest difference. We turned on social media marketing at Spa and Main with emails and text messaging, and then we had some kind of like locator when they drove by the spa. It was like, hey, we see you driving by. It was kind of creepy.
Yes.
But I mean, they'd get like a little message.
Oh, yeah. What was that one? Was it Franklin? Was that one that y'all used that was really good?
I think so. So that was through Booker, though. So it was like it was
Okay, gotcha.
like a company through Booker, but man,
Yeah.
that was great. I'll have to go back and look.
That was
I have to
great.
research. See, now we're getting all these triggering our memories, so now we can go back and do these things. And
I know.
we're gonna be
See,
so
I hadn't even
busy.
thought about that.
We're gonna be so busy, Brandy.
I know. We're not. When are we gonna podcast? I don't even. We'll have to be doing facials and be like, oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Which we have talked about doing already, so that'll be fun. That'll be just another adventure.
Yes. Actually, my new menu.
Yeah, that's all good stuff.
Oh, in my new menu.
What is the new menu?
So it was my menu of services for my location here in Pasadena. I put on the back about our podcast, and that if anybody ever wanted to be a model for a service, to let me know, that I'll offer a discount. And they would just have to agree, to be photographed. And that's important. Definitely get their signature that they've agreed to do that. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just, I'm kind of, you'll see my failures. So if these things don't work, I will just let you know, well, that didn't work, or this person sure didn't like that.
That didn't work. We'll try something else. And that's, in this industry, in any small business, that's all we're doing. Nobody came into it being, a really good business owner. You just figure things out, and when they don't work, guess what? You change them up. I mean, that's all it is. And don't look at it as failure. Mm-hmm. It's just, I learned from that mistake, moving on. We're going to do this. And you're just figuring things out. And I mean, I think that's how business is altogether. Yeah. Like, I mean, you're not going to be doing the same thing on day one that you're doing year 10. You're not going to, I mean, you figured things out along the way, and you just learn to pivot. Yeah. That's the word.
And
pivot.
Grow. Just because that one thing didn't work and you lost money, or you lost time, or whatever the thing is that you feel like, oh, that was bad. Well, you're going to grow from that, because that's not the thing. And it depends, your location, it so depends. The things that we could do in El Dorado, I mean, like you said, El Dorado is huge. It was just so great, because you could just, people do, like, everybody knows each other, and and they want to work together. And so it's nice. You develop these relationships. I will say, one of the things that in our little outline here, that I think is really fun, and I hadn't ever even thought to do this until I worked with a sweet lady named Susie in Beverly Hills. She's been at the company since the beginning, for like 35 years. She's been with Dr. Abaji, and she will, if our books aren't full, when I worked there, when our books weren't full, she would call the area concierge. She know all the concierge in Beverly Hills. She's like, hey, it's Susie. We've got some facial openings the next couple of days. If you have anybody in town, send them our way. And they would. And man, I had some cool clients come through the door, patients come through the door that I got to work with. And, that was so cool. We would have the most fun. So that's something else that's on my list, on my schedule of things to do. On Mondays, I'm calling.
That's a good idea.
The area hotels that don't have spas with facials. Some because some places actually do have like massage, but then they don't have facials. So you develop relationships with them.
Yeah.
And the concierge, they want to be able to have somewhere to send, to send people that, I do know that this really cute place on Lake Avenue, has facial openings. You should try them out. They have this great coffee shop that's next door, or whatever, and so that's a really good way of, reaching out to some of these, like the local boutiques, or you had reached out to the hotel that's right across from you.
Yeah. That's,
yeah.
Oh yeah. That would be great. Yeah. That's a great idea. I hadn't even thought of that. And that could be something that I just put on the list of things for, the front desk to do. Because, they're always looking for things to do anyway. So, yeah, I love that idea. We need to definitely do that. And even call, like, the local banks and, just local businesses all around us. And say, hey, I know y'all work half a day on Friday. We've got available appointments on Fridays. Yeah. So, that's a great idea.
Yeah, OBGYN.
Yeah, see, this is so beneficial to me too.
I'm telling you. I was writing down stuff and I was like, oh wait, Susie does that. I need to do that. And then it triggered my memory of what other places I've worked. So I'm going way back in time. I'm going back before Max was even born, thinking of things that people did. And I worked when we lived in Fayetteville, Arkansas, worked at this cute Aveda hair salon called Pink Papaya. And the owners were this feisty couple. They were really fun. We had OBGYN, several OBGYNs. It was super busy salon. It was so busy. But we had this lady that was an OBGYN that would come in to get her hair done. And she had worked some sort of a deal with her where she gave her gift cards. So every time somebody came in that was new it was, having a baby or whatever, or that was coming to her as a new patient, she would give them a little gift bag. And one of the things was a little gift card to Pink Papaya it looked like a gift certificate. So it's more of a coupon, but because it didn't have like cash value, but they could use it towards a haircut or a facial and so things like that, and that's nothing. I mean, you could just buy some cards and print that out on your own. Yeah. Just make sure to put no cash value, I love that. But I love that idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah, things like that. So that was one idea. Also some things that don't work in some places that do work in the others. So in Laguna Beach, I tried for radio ads. Unfortunately, they just didn't work out for me. But then what I should have done from the very beginning was ask other business owners, what kind of advertising do you see that works? Once I did that, and they told me what worked for them was the local online newspaper. And that was a really good resource. I don't even know how many additional clients after just starting a small little ad in the local online newspaper. So, ask around, ask what does work, because I know in El Dorado, radio works great. So, it depends on where you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Depends on where you are. Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes it does. And another thing I was going to say that's been working for me in Little Rock is find the local like women's groups on Facebook. So in Little Rock, there's like this Little Rock Power Women, and there's 30,000 people, subscribers to this one page, and they have to let you in, and approve you and all that. And so every single day I post something in there. I post something. And, you can just go to groups on Facebook and type in your location and say women's groups, and there will be 100 that'll pop up, and you just find the one that has the most, people in it, and then go from there. But yeah, that one's been really, and so like the two of the people last week, I said, well, how did you hear about us? And always ask that too. That's always really important to know. Mm-hmm. And one good thing about Gloss Genius is if they book online, it does ask them, where did you hear about us? So I can go on there and find out. But two of the people from last week, that's what they put. They put the Facebook Power Women group. Oh, and so I thought, wow, that's great. And that's free. That's free. It's free. Yeah, that's free. And just, and just get aggressive. Who cares? Like, again, get over yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to get over yourself. You can't say, oh, I'm going to be bugging people if I post too much. It doesn't matter. All marketing is good marketing. Yeah. They remember you. Yeah. Whether you're the nagging person that's talking about $100 lashes, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They remember you. And whenever they know somebody looking for lashes, they're going to say, oh yeah, Kyle and Co, they were posting like every single day. They really need the business. Why don't you go see them? Yeah. So, you kind of feel it. You kind of feel it kind of in your gut. What's the right marketing to do? I know I've had certain campaigns and I'm like, this is going to work. I know it's going to work. And I was right. It worked. And then there's other times when I'm like, this isn't going to work. Why am I wasting my time? And then it was a waste of time. So trust those, those feelings. And it is. One thing is like, not every post has to be a discount post. Some things could be just an educational. So you're not asking for them to come in and spend money. You're telling them something educational about their skin, or you're showing them something interesting. It's all about that consistency. That's what they say. It's just, that's what it's about. People want to see, whether they want to see it or not, that's the thing that brings people to you.
get really good at Canva. Canva has been our best friend. It's an online subscription, and you can create the cutest little graphics. They're already done for you. You basically just backspace and type in your information, and it can just be, maybe just do a post about, we did one last week about waxing. So the whole Canva post was just about the waxing services that we offer. We didn't discount anything. We just said, we're going to offer walk-in waxes, and this is what you can get, and these are the prices. And then we posted that, and we've had some good, I would say we've had some response from it, but you don't have to discount everything. Just put the information out there.
Yeah, just let them know. One thing that our good friend Joanna, who was she was a manager at Spa in Maine for a little while, she would do, if we were running low or running out of something, she would let people know, we're running out of exfoliating cleanser, or we're running, we have 2 left, come get it. And people would, they're like, or they would call,
Yeah,
hold it for me, hold it for me, so,
Yeah.
so
You create an urgency.
yeah,
Yes.
and I always thought that was cute.
Yeah.
I'm like, Joanna, why are you telling people we're running out of stuff? She's like, because they'll buy it, then just buy more. I'm like, okay. Like,
I love it. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, she's smart. She's in marketing for a reason. She gets thousands of people to come to concerts. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, now she's the marketing director at MAD. So yeah, she definitely knows what she's doing. But I would always get a kick out of, she'd come up with these ideas.
And she still does that.
Yeah, and it's her that instinct. She's like,
still,
this is gonna work, and she'll take a beautiful image and like post it.
Yeah.
And then you'll see it and you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe that just came out of my store. That is amazing. It looks, we had a couple of things published that she had taken, like she took, there's a picture that Hydrofacial still uses. I saw it just a couple months ago, of a lady's hands at one of our events in El Dorado, and they use it all the time. The before and afters, it's pretty incredible before and after. And that's one of Joanna's images. And then she did a few others, some Natural Life products that that were in different spa magazines. And I'm just like flipping through the magazine, like, there's my store. What is this? Because
that's our picture.
Yeah, it's amazing. We didn't even know it was, they grabbed it from our social media.
And Farmhouse Fresh, I think.
Yes, Farmhouse Fresh. I think
the Farmhouse Fresh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
she's great. We love you, Joanna, if you're listening.
Yes, this is a test to see if she's really listening.
We're not going to say a word. See if she ever listened. All right. Well, don't panic when you look at your schedule and don't see that it's completely full. Don't panic. Just get active. Like, stop talking, start doing. That's one of my favorite sayings, is like, stop talking about it, stop telling everybody. And the time that you've told 10 people that you're just so slow and everything is doom and gloom, blah, 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 you could have already made 10 Canva posts on, a Power Women group, and you could have already called so many people and asked them to come in. So don't get into that mindset of just doom and gloom and, oh, poor pitiful me, I'm gonna have to find a new job. Just work, just do all these steps. I mean, most of the time that's what I find with people. They're just so slow. I'm like, well, what have you done? And they're like, well, I keep posting. Well, you know what? You got to do more than that. I mean, if that's not working, try something else. You just have to keep trying. Yeah, just keep trying.
Yeah, call that chamber, ask them if there's an event that you can volunteer and help, even if you can't afford the chamber membership. Maybe they want a couple of gift bags from you, and they want your presence there, that you can assist them, and then you can introduce yourself to people that could be future clients. I mean, there's ways, to do things and to get ourselves busy. And there's people that want to come to us, just because it's not as easy as it was last year or the year before. One thing I did in Laguna at back to school time was I sent a letter to each one of the school's principals. A really nice letter, just a short, saying that my kids are in the school system there, and offering the teachers for the entire school year a discount. So I gave teacher discounts, 20% off and I got 7 teachers that came to me. So when that was successful, I did the same thing with the city hall.
Yeah.
I sent the same message to them. I only got about
Okay.
2.5, almost 3 people. There's one person only came once, but the others came all the time and were fantastic.
Like you got half a person?
Well, it's like somebody that came and then, so it was like 2.5. But the other people like rebooked and came over.
Yeah. I did it.
So you think about things like that, like, who can I reach out to that's local that may want to come, that maybe doesn't want to spend as much as, or you just want to say thank you. Thank you for teaching my kids. Thank you for protecting my city, police officers or, EMT workers and paramedics and
for sure.
Thank you. And so they come to you and that's it. That was very good in Laguna. And so I'm hoping that's good here, but that's probably good in El Dorado because they're about the same size town. They're very similar.
I bet it is. Yeah. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening today.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Pretty Smart 2. And if you liked the content that you saw today, please do like and subscribe on Apple Podcast, YouTube, and follow us on all of our social medias. We're on all of them. And thank you all so much for liking and sharing and being a part of our Bestie SD community. And now for our tip of the week. What you do matters. So let people see it. You're the expert. Your clients are coming to you for guidance, and you know things that they don't. Every client you touch leaves a little different than they came in, whether it's their skin, their confidence, or their mood. Share those moments, post the transformations, tell the stories, and remind people why your work is worth booking. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time on Pretty Smart 2. Bye. Bye, Brandy.